The St. Albert Trail corridor option that we have under consideration uses a significant portion of St. Albert Trail to accommodate the LRT from NAIT to the northwest city limits. Beginning at the proposed NAIT station, this corridor crosses the City Centre Airport lands and heads along Yellowhead Trail to St. Albert Trail. There are a number of different ways that the LRT could travel within this wide corridor. Yellowhead Trail is a major goods movement corridor and an important urban freeway. The LRT alignment will be developed to accommodate potential upgrades of Yellowhead Trail, and the LRT will not hinder the operation of the Yellowhead Trail. South of the freeway, there are residential neighborhoods of Prince Charles and Sherbrooke. From Yellowhead Trail, the corridor would proceed along St. Albert Trail to the proposed park and ride facility near Anthony Henday Drive. St. Albert Trail is a wide roadway with industrial and commercial businesses on both sides. This roadway is a critical arterial connection to the City of Edmonton and the City of St. Albert, and the current number of roadway lanes would be maintained. The LRT would be aligned in such a way to accommodate further expansion into the City of St. Albert when and if required. In this section, the proposed stations for the purpose of analysis are located at the City Centre Airport, adjacent to the current Via Rail station, at the intersection of St. Albert Trail and 128th Avenue, at the intersection of St. Albert Trail and 137th Avenue, and the terminal station at the proposed park and ride site. This corridor has two options that will also be studied through the planning process. The first option will maximize the use of existing freight rail corridors in the northwest sector of the city. Traveling adjacent to the CN rail lines in 127th Avenue, the line heads towards St. Albert Trail before turning north. From Yellowhead Trail and approximately 142th Street, the option follows next to an existing freight rail line parallel to 142th Street. The areas to the east are the residential neighborhoods of Wellington, Pembina, and Cumberland. An earth berm separates some of these residents from the existing freight railway. The area to the west of the LRT corridor is known as the Rampart Industrial Area and is planned for future industrial developments. The corridor then turns to follow a future road allowance along approximately 153rd Avenue, which is north of an existing major power utility corridor. The corridor will end at the proposed park and ride site. In this section, proposed stations for the purposes of analysis are located at the City Centre Airport, adjacent to the current Via Rail station, at the intersection of 127th Avenue and 127th Street, at the intersection of 142th Street and 137th Avenue, at the intersection of 142th Street and 153rd Avenue, and the terminal station at the proposed park and ride site. There is a second design option here, and let me take you through that now. This design option serves neighborhoods south of Yellowhead by crossing the City Centre Airport lands and heading west along 118th Avenue. 118th Avenue is an important east-west arterial, and additional study will determine the potential to maintain the existing roadway lanes. At first glance, however, there is not enough width to accommodate the LRT without removing service roads or lanes in certain sections. The 118th Avenue corridor is adjacent to the Sherbrooke, Inglewood, and Prince Charles neighborhoods. The corridor then turns northwest along Grote Road. Again, existing service roads would potentially be removed in order to accommodate the LRT without widening the total width of the right-of-way. This arterial is adjacent to the Sherbrooke and Dovercourt neighborhoods. The corridor would then continue along St. Albert Trail over the Yellowhead Trail to the proposed park and ride facility. In this section, proposed stations are the City Centre Airport, the intersection of 122nd Street and 118th Avenue, the intersection of Grote Road and 118th Avenue, the intersection of St. Albert Trail and 128th Avenue, the intersection of St. Albert Trail and 137th Avenue, and the terminal station at the proposed park and ride facility. These are some of the options that we've presented for the St. Albert Trail corridor. The station locations identified are for evaluation purposes, and the final locations will be refined throughout the planning study. Thanks for watching, and we're looking forward to your feedback.